Hello there, hello everybody. I'm Irina. I'm a startup owner and a content creator here on YouTube, focusing on business, productivity, and intentional living. This is not going to be a cinematic type of video that I usually do. I recommend you check those on out. Today we're having a video. I'm updating you about where I've been, what I've been doing, a project that I launched a month ago, and also some questions I received on my Instagram regarding business and life in general. So be sure to follow me there as well at the Raw Scientist. Today we're in a new location. This is my office, and I wanted to do something different from my usual setup to have a chill, quiet talk. So recently I had a surgery and I had to step a bit away from my YouTube channel and other social media, but now I am back. I'm currently recovering, thank you very much for asking, and I'm doing well. Hopefully next week we will be back on a regular schedule with videos and new content. I'll try to do my best. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm feeling well. So let's talk about this new project. In February, I launched a newsletter called the Weekly Newsletter of Raw Scientist. I know, extremely creative. Tell me about it. If you haven't subscribed yet, you should. Just saying, the link is in the description. You have it there. So the newsletter, what is it about? Well, it's a mixture of things I went through, things that I like, experiences people visit. It's how would you call it? Like it's kind of a building in public thing. You will find a bit of background story there about myself, about my life, what led up to entrepreneurship, and all the things that I discovered along the way. Of course, you will find there some of my personal challenges and fears. Can't say regrets because I have none. For instance, in my 5th newsletter, I talked about how to deal with sickness and death as an entrepreneur, a subject not very discussed in my opinion. Like, I underwent surgery again. And there are things that you need to be aware of when you start a business. So you would say, why am I doing this newsletter? Firstly, I would like to say that I'm doing this for myself. I want to keep myself accountable because I have this big dream that I want to build something that will impact the world in a positive way. So writing this newsletter kind of reminds me why I started doing this, and it keeps me accountable, but also sharing some of my struggles and fears. And while I'm writing it, I'm also thinking about solutions and ways to solve them. So it's like a therapeutic process for me. I'm really enjoying it. I gotta tell you that. It's like I'm detaching from my problems and I'm seeing them outside the box, and it offers a different perspective because when you're experiencing certain things and you deal with certain kind of problems, you're very sucked into the situation and you cannot see them objectively. And sometimes an issue, it might seem like the biggest issue you ever dealt with, when in fact it's not that complicated. So this newsletter is it's like therapy for me. The second thing is that I know that when I started out, there weren't as many resources about entrepreneurship. There is that quote that says, be the person that you needed when you were younger. This is me doing this for my younger self and for other people that want to start out, have no clue about entrepreneurship, or they're currently having a business, facing life difficulties, and they think they're alone because entrepreneurship at times is really lonely. I'll tell you that. I've been getting amazing feedback from people who subscribed, how much it helped them, how much they could relate, how much it gave them a push, a motivation in order to follow their dreams. And that made me really happy because It's something I can give you back while I also help myself in a way. If you want to subscribe, the link is in the description. It's completely free, and check it out. I'm pretty happy with the fact that I've been quite consistent with it. Like, I've sent a weekly newsletter since I launched the newsletter, and it's kind of amazing for me. Can say the same for my YouTube channel, because I've set myself a goal to post at least a video a week, which hasn't happened so far. But I am working on that, and hopefully we will have that soon. Like I've said so many times, even in my newsletter, people always tell me, you have things under control. You always seem like you have things under control. And you know what? That is far from true. If you're in a point in your life when you're feeling down, remember the fact that nobody has their life under control. Nobody knows what they're doing. And I think some of us are just better at pretending it than others. I discuss more of that in my newsletter. I wanna discuss something today that I felt like talking to you. I even thought about putting it and dedicating a whole video about it, but I want to put it here as well as a reminder for myself. There's a time in my life where I used to compare myself to people. And I used to do that for a very, very long while. Even when I was doing content creation in my own native language, I kept comparing myself to other content creators. And sometimes, I have to admit, I was paralyzed by the success of other people. And that sounds really, really bad, but that's what had happened. I was so much stuck into comparing myself with other content creators that it eventually paralyzed me from creating content. I'm not sure if it makes sense or if it really happened to you. You know that way when you compare yourself to someone who is doing maybe a similar job to you, and you say, oh my god, his work or her work is so good. It's so good. What am I doing here? And then you end up not doing that job. That was for me a long, long time. I think I believe I had a year like that when I kept failing at being consistent and posting content because I just kept comparing myself to other people. And that's really bad, I must tell you. We often forget that the so-called path to success, there are a lot of things to take into consideration, like where you live, what are your parents, if you have both of your parents or not, what was your upbringing, what's your coping mechanism that you were taught as a kid, but last but not least, what's your personal definition of success? And I say that because we often crave a lifestyle that the social media and the media itself and the society has created for us. But in reality, most of us crave something different rather than what's portrayed on social media and the media. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm not saying that social media is bad. I'm saying this because I've seen a lot of people, including myself, up to a point where I thought I wanted to have a certain lifestyle that maybe I picked from other people. And it wasn't true. What people don't think about, and this is a discussion we should have more often, is that no matter what path in life you choose, there are things that you need to pay for. Nothing in this life comes for free. And I know it sounds like a bit dramatic, but it's not like you need to work 24/7. Like, you don't need to be on a Sunday night like I'm currently recently having a surgery and filming a video. I'm not trying to say I'm putting myself on a pedestal. What I'm saying is that every kind of lifestyle you choose, you sacrifice other things. You need to be incredibly aware of your definition of success so that you know what you want to work for. I don't think we discuss enough what happens when you need to get from point A to point B. because everybody thinks it's a straight line. You set yourself a goal and you just go for it. So like you want to build a YouTube channel or have a big Instagram account with a large following and get ads and get paid ads. It doesn't work like that. It's not like you're gonna just post consistently and everything happens. It would be great if it would happen in theory, but what I've learned is that whatever your end goal is, it's never a straight line. And the more you are aware about that and the more you come to terms with that, the easier it will get for you. One of my dreams is to build a global company. And every time I talked to someone about that, they were like, you need to get funding from a venture capital. You need to do that. And for the longest time, I thought that I couldn't build a global company without the help of a venture capital. So I started hustling on that as well, besides the other things that I'm doing. And then I quickly came to the terms with the fact that, okay, I'm going to pursue this venture capital thing and try to get funding for my company. But I cannot wait to get venture capital for my funding and put my business on hold because, I have employees, people I need to pay. So I cannot put my business on hold in order to get funding from a venture capital. So what I need to do, besides doing the work for that venture capital, is building a business. And while building a business, you realize that you can start making income on your own. And then it puts you in a position and you're like, do I actually need the money of a venture capital? I'm not saying I'm excluding the idea. I'm just saying, like I said, from point A to point B, you imagine something because you want to get to point B, but then you figure out maybe it's not all. Maybe there are other things I can do in between to reach point B by using other tactics. And that is not bad, let me tell you. You kind of need to discover that for yourself. You need to know that going from point A to point B is never a straight line. You need to find yourself the definition of your success. And when you start something, even though it might get hard, never forget about the fact that your end goal is point B. And sometimes it might seem like the point C is in between. But it's fine, It's fine. Now on to some questions I wrote down from Instagram. First question. This is a business life kind of question. I picked 5 of them because I thought they were interesting and I usually get them a lot. So I thought it might be fun for you to listen to them. The first one is, what keeps you going? And I got this question from a friend that I recently made who has an amazing gaming channel. I'm gonna leave his YouTube channel down below. And also, I know that when we talked and we talked about our struggles, things we're dealing with and such, and we talked a lot about the reason that we're doing what we're doing and sacrificing other things. So what keeps me going in general and hustling and doing other things is that I'm curious. I want to see where life takes me if I try to pick on every opportunity that raises in front of me. And I want to see what happens. Because I have this big dream. So I want to work towards it and want to pick on every opportunity. And in case I am rejected, I want to see like I've learned something new. And, in case my big dream doesn't happen, at least I tried. Because I don't think there is anything worse than living with regret. So, curiosity. Another question that I got, and I usually get it, and as best tips on how to start a business as a woman. I thought about how to ask this question, how to answer this question, and what I thought is that the third thing that came to my head is that I don't think gender plays a role in whatever you want to do in life. Especially in creating and owning a business. If you want to create and own a business, you need to learn the basics of running a business. Managing your time, self-management is super important. Legal, creating the legal side of creating a business. Study the market you want to activate or sell your product. Know your market. It's super important in order to sell or provide a service. If you don't know your market, there's a high chance you might not succeed, even though you create something really cool. If you don't have customers, you can't sell. So you need to know the market. You need to know marketing, client management, all the gist of having a business. I would focus on that. And also what I would recommend is that you start building on a solid brand from the beginning and build a business plan. Because in the business plan, you're going to have a vision of a 5-year vision, what happens with your company. You're going to have something about your brand's company, mission, vision, and it's always going to be a work in progress. And that's going to give you a clear path from where you want to start and where you want to go, point A to point B. But also, it will give you some time to reflect on your business and your end customer and the product you want to do, and the product or the service you want to deliver. And you have to learn a bit of everything and start to be good at it. And you need to learn money management. You need to learn how to make money work for you. Also, I want to say you don't have to be perfect at these jobs. You have to know how to do a bit of everything. And in the future, you need to hire other people who can do a better job than you. And I thought about why I get this question so often. Best tips on how to start a business as a woman. And I wondered why. When you're young, you have this fear of being judged. As a woman, I think we have a bigger fear than males being judged. But I think this fear is universal for males as well. They just don't express this as much as women. And I gotta tell you that no matter what you do in life, no matter what you sell, what you create, what career path you pick, what videos you put on YouTube, how you portray yourself, if you dye your hair, if you don't dye it, you're never going to make everybody happy. It's going to be one person, two people, the half of the globe, every other person in the world having a word to say in your actions. So if you want to be a business owner, you gotta learn that a lot of people won't agree with the things you do. But it's important to trust yourself. And one great advice that I got is that you should never take advice from people who haven't been through that. If somebody tells you about money management, but they aren't good at money managing themselves, you shouldn't take advice from that person. If you're wanting to start a business, but that person never had a business in their life, you shouldn't take advice from that person. Unless maybe it's a great idea, I don't know. But that's one of the things that really helped me. Another question: how do you manage with overthinking in your business? Doubts, regrets, etc. When you're a business owner, you tend to do a lot of things, okay? Especially in the beginning, marketing, sales, client management, product, whatever. Depending on your business, you do several things. I know I used to do a lot of those. I'm still doing, because I'm a startup entrepreneur. I'm not a big corporation, but also I'm doing less than before. You have to keep in mind that the choice you have to do something and you choose to do that thing prevents you from doing another thing. Let me repeat that. When you have a choice and you pick on doing this thing, you inherently reject on doing other things. You give up on doing other things. Did I say it right? Let me say it again. When you're a business entrepreneur, you do a lot of things. So when you have a thing you pick on working and doing, or thinking about, or wasting your time thinking about it, you give up on other important things. And let me tell you that self-management is very important in having a business. So if you waste too much time thinking about what happened in the past. You give up precious time on where you can build your business, relax, spend time with your loved ones, think about what you could do better. I'm not saying you shouldn't think about the things that you could improve. You should totally do that, but you shouldn't waste a lot of time regretting. Try to learn from every mistake as much as possible. In the end, we regret the chances we didn't take. We don't regret the mistakes we did on the road. Because, every mistake, it's an opportunity for growth. Okay. All right, we reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you found something valuable from it. If not, I hope it was mildly entertaining, and thank you so much for sticking by. If you reached the end of this video, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome business, intentional living, productivity content. If you want to see some of my other productivity content, I'm gonna leave a few videos on the screen. I'm trying to get back into the schedule of posting a video once a week. Fingers crossed I recover as soon as possible. Please leave a comment, thumbs up, because it plays with the YouTube algorithm and it helps. I hope you subscribe to my newsletter and let me know what you think about the setup. Okay, now I need to go lie down and I'll see you at the next video. Bye!